Okay, we are back now. We have to look at how to use tens complements. We have defined in the previous exercise tens and nines complement and what they are. Now, what I want to mention, what I want to just to probably highlight is a little something. Let's look at the complements again. Okay, we've did nines complement and tens complement. Let's have a reminder because tens complement is equal to what? Tens complement is actually nines complement plus 1. Okay, so since 10's complement got 9 complement, so let's have a reminder for ourselves for the 9's complement. So what does it mean? Remember, 9's complement is simply 9's complement is the number that will add or complement add. So what do you mean by complement? Complement others, other numbers, others to a 9, to a total of 9. Okay, let's see. We said 0, 9's complement is what? Is 9 itself. 0 plus 9 is equal to 9. 1, we say that is what? This is a reminder. 9's complement is equal to 8. 2, 9's complement is equal to 7. 3, I'll do 4 and I'll do 5. In fact, 4 is enough. I'll explain why doing up to 4 is enough. This is what I want to highlight that I didn't highlight in the other section. This will be 6, and then there that will be what? 9's complement will be 5. What do you see? The next one is 5's 9's complement is 4. 6's 9's complement is 3. 7's 9's complement is 2. 8's 9's complement is 1. And 9's complement is 0. So what I'm trying to show that there's complements actually back to back. These complements are actually back to back. And if a number is another number's 9's complement, that number is the original number's 9's complement as well. Alright, so actually complements are what? These complements are back to back. Okay, complements are back to back. I want to highlight that. Okay, so all you need to know is half the complements because the rest is what is back to back. Now, however, 10's complement is equal to what? If we look at 10's complement, we've already said 10's complement of 0 is equal to 0. Let's make this a little bit longer. 10's complement is 0, of 0 is 0. 1's is 9, okay? Because it was 8 for 9's complement plus 1. So 10's complement of 1 is actually what? That of 2 is actually equal to 8. If you look, this was 7, you add 1, it becomes what? 8. 3 is 7, 3 plus 7 is 10, 10's complement, and 4 is also 6, because it was 5 for 9's, and you add 1, it becomes 6. And again, these are back to back. For the 6, it's 4. For the 7, it's 3. For the 8, it's 2. 10's complement is 2. So these complements are back to back. All right. This is what I would like people to be very keenly aware of. Now, there's a homework that I gave last time. I believe I said 13,1. It was multiplication 13,1, and I said subtract 9,63. You can see I'm already what? I'm already aligning my commas there. I'm already aligning my commas, which is very good practice because everything is a value according to the what? To the weight. Okay, so it must stand in a specific column. So we are subtracting. What did you say? When you subtract, that's the number we complement because we want to what? We want to avoid subtraction. So we say 1, 3, 1, 0, but 9's complement of this is going to be what? 9, 0, 3, 6. And when we add when we add, our answer would have been that when we add, this becomes 6, that is 4, our comma stays in line, that is 3, and our last digit of the answer is that one there. This here is a what? Is a carry. We said in the case of 9's complement, what do? We add our carry, and therefore we add with, I said as a hint, you always add a carry as a bit, okay, not as a value 1. It's not a value 1, it's just a bit. So you add to the least significant digit there. Therefore this will be 7, and that will be 4, this will be 3. Okay, and our answer is therefore what? Our answer is therefore, if we look there, this will be 7, this was taken from there. If we now take that from there, we remain with 12. Okay, I shouldn't have probably done that. I should just take from there. I wanted to do 12 minus 9 once, so I'm just being too fast for some people. I'm thinking 10 minus 6 is going to be 4, and then now if I borrow there, it's going to be 12. Anyway, 12 minus that is going to be 3. So you can see the two answers are the same, but remember, if you do it there, we'll actually mark you wrong. You're not supposed to show that you actually got your answer from there. I'm just proving to you, because I'm teaching here, so I'm just going to proving to you that you would get your answer from what? I want to see this, 13,10. All right, so we don't want you to do that. We want you to show that you know your work. So now what I'll do now is I'll go to 10's complement. I'll do 10's complement now. I'll do the calculation in 10's. I'll start with that calculation. I'll say, okay, let's do the same as what? Repeat with 10's complement. Okay, or just 10. This is also 10's complement. Okay, just write this here, and 10 prime means 10's complement. Okay, but repeat using 10's complement, and what do? We say, okay, before I actually do that, I always like to prove certain things in ways that are what are irrefutable. I like to prove things in ways that are irrefutable. So what I'll do is, before I do that, I will repeat that question, but I'll do what? I'll take the smaller number 9,63, and then minus 13,1, and I'll say I need to subtract this, but I need to do that with the computer. Therefore we will, the moment you see that, it means complement, and then it means we will not see that anymore. Now first thing first, balance up the digits. Very important in the case of this one, not so important in the case of that one, because that won't change anything, but it's standard practice to do it, because being forgetful sometimes is if you're not constant with what you do. If you're not constant with what you do, you tend to forget. I mean, if you really want to do too many things at different times, you are really going to forget some of the things. But if you are consistent and you always do the same thing, it will therefore become a part of your habit. So this will be safe. Now that stays the same, but that one there is 9's complement. That will be 8. Therefore that will be it's 9's complement, so it's a 6, comma, that's an 8, and then that one there is a what? Is a 9, which we wouldn't have had if we didn't what? If we didn't balance up the digits. So now when we add, this is going to be 12, that's going to be 7 and 8, that's going to be 15. Our comma stays in its place. This is now 15 plus 1, 9 and 6 is 15 plus 1, that will be 16. Now we have what? We have 9. And then we say it, in this scenario we do not have a carry here, so I'm just writing no carry to NC to say no carry. When I don't have a carry, what do? We know that the answer is in 9's complement form. This is 9's complement. Why do I keep doing that, even though I know that this is equal to 9's complement, even though I know that the little prime means 9's complement? So what must I do? I must complement again 9's complement, and then I know my answer is negative. Every time that there is no carry, we know that our answer is supposed to be negative. So what do? We then say this is 0. This is what? This is we're doing 9's complement, so this is 3, comma, this is 4, and that is 7. As you can see, Yes, if you separate it, if we reverse the numbers, the sign will change because that one is smaller, and then the answer otherwise will be the same. So this is basically us proving that our method actually works perfectly. So what I'll then do is I will then go back and do the what? And do these very examples using tens complement. So what we'll do now is I'll get a new page, and then on that page I'll then do the same calculations using using tens complement. Okay, so what we'll then do now is we are going to say our previous question was 367 minus 120. So what do? We don't want, computer doesn't want to see minus. So what does it do? It knows it must complement that and change to what it's happy with. So this is going to be 367, and then that there, if you do, we said we're not doing tens complement, so this is a 10. Let me make sure I have this rubber for the future. So this is a tens complement, and for tens complement, it would have been, this would have been 879. So 879 plus 1 is 880. Okay, it would have been 879. 79 plus 1 is 80. So 880. So what then happens is that, let's see, if I add 880, I'll get 0 plus 0, 0. 2 plus that, 10, which is a 0. Carry 1. 8 plus 1 plus 1, 10, again is a 0. So that's our what? Our tens complement. Now when we do that, this is going to be 7. This is going to be what? This is going to be 14. We're adding now. So this is going to be 14. This is 4, and this is going to be 12. Our answer maintains the number of decimal places, the number of digits. So this is what? This is a carry bit. Now, with 9's complement, we added the bit. What do we do with n's complement? You ignore the carry. Ignore the carry. What does it mean? Your answer is good as is. This is our answer. Our answer is therefore 247. If you remember, that was our answer, 247. In case you need a reminder, 7 minus 0 is a 7. 6 minus that is a 4. 3 minus 1 is a 2. So you ignore that carry. Okay? In the case of tens complement. Alright. Our other example was what? Let me just do this. Let me move this carry to create space for myself. I'm going to move the carry right there. Ignore carry. Okay. So then I will come back and say our other example there was what? 1, 3. It was 1349 minus 253. Okay, 253. Now if we subtract this, the moment the computer sees that, it will say complement. We are doing tens complement this time. So let's again pretend that probably it was a fluke last time and try to do it without balancing the digits. And we'll say this is a 2 tens complement to make, okay, this way would have been an 8, what? A 7, 4, 6, meaning that it becomes 7, 4, 7. Look, this is tens complement, so it was 746. You add 1, it becomes 747. Now I have not added the what? That bit there. I want to prove to you that if you do not add that bit, you're going to see flames. So we actually change that minus to a plus. Let's see if this nonsense will work. This is nonsense. I know it won't work. I'm not wasting your time. I'm trying to remind you that you should not forget to what? To balance up the digits. That plus that is going to be what? 16, carry 1. That plus that is going to be 9. That plus that is going to be 10. That plus that is going to be 2 now. Now, it suggests that we have seen already that if there is no carry, the suggestion is that what? Is that we are going to, is the number is what needs to be recomplemented, because It's a negative number. So what we said with the rule, we said when there's what? When there's no carry, the answer is what? Is negative, and you have to what? It is in what? It is in complement form. This would be 10's complement form. Is this true? It is not true. Why? Because our rule, it clashes with our other rule where we said when we subtract a smaller number, we said when A is greater than B. In the previous example, we said if A is greater than B, we said we will what? We will always have carry. Carry. You will always have carry. Carry always. Okay. This is a reminder. Even though it was written when we were doing the 9's complement, it is actually the general case. It is true all the time. As long as the what? As long as the number, the monument is smaller, what will happen is that what? Is that you will what? You will always have carry. But what I'll do is I will come back and make this note again. What I'll do is I'll say this is not true again, because if you look at our answer there, if we subtract directly here, yes, we agree at that point. Yes, we agree at that point. This is 9. We agree at that point, but suddenly we are on 1. Our answer is supposed to be 1 0, and here we've got 2 0, which is obviously not true. In any event, it's because what? I'm trying to highlight that you need to all the time what? Balance up the digits. So you cannot, I've given you examples both in case what? In the case of the 9's complement and the 2's complement, in the the 9's complement and the now the 10's complement, that it will not work if you don't what? If you don't balance up the digits first. You need to balance up your digits first. Okay, so you have no excuse. I will not keep doing this. Now it must stay in your mind. When you revise, when you forget, you have this video to come back to. You've got other videos to come back to. Got other sources to come back to. So you see the big difference that this makes is that this will now make that 10's complement there a what? Actually a, where were we? This was a 9. Okay, because it was 9746 plus 1, 9747. Now when we add, it's going to be 16, which is 1 6. It's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 1, which is 9. It's going to be what? 3 plus that is going to be 10. And then that is now going to be 11. And yes, every time A is bigger than what? Than B, we will have a carry. And what do we do with the carry? In the case of what? Of 10's complement, we ignore the carry. In the case of 10's complement, we ignore the carry. Alright, so our answer is what? Is 1. Therefore, answer, maybe I should say answer here to this traffic here. Let me just say answer is what? 247. And answer here is what? Answer here is 1096. Okay. Alright, now we will then do what? We will then do the other example that we did, which was, okay, what we did was we did this and we did them in what? In opposite form, where we said 1 2 0. The smaller numbers are now subtracting the bigger numbers, and you said is what? 3 6 7. And then we said we don't want to see the minus, so we do the complement. So the complement there is going to be, this is going to be 9's complement. That will be 6. That will be 3. This would have been 2 plus 1 is 3. That there stays 120. The positive number is not affected. We are running away from subtracting, so we can add. When we add, that's a 3. That's a 5. That's a 7. Do we have a carry? No carry. Why? B is bigger, so no carry, meaning that your answer is, this is actually not in 10's complement form. Okay, this is in 10 complement form. What do? You complement again, 10's complement, same complement. You repeat the complement. That will be 2. That will be 4. This here would have been what? Would have been a 6, but we add 1 and is 7, but the answer has to be negative. Alright, so what you see is answer that, and this answer is the same, but obviously differing in sign. Why? You made the what? You separated the bigger number. If you try this other example, it's 1, 3, 4, 9, and then what do? You subtract. Okay, I'm repeating. Okay, probably just bring it down. Okay, probably just bring it down, and we are subtracting this from 2, 5, 3. Just for practice purpose, just to be used to this balancing thing, we balance up even though it's not essential in that scenario. We are subtracting the bigger number. We don't want to say subtract, so what do? We complement, and now we're doing tens complement. So what do? We keep the top number as is, and the bottom number is tens complement. What do? This is 8, this is 6. This would have been a 5, but that was going to be what? A 1 0. So this becomes what? Instead of a 5, this becomes 6 0. Why? It would have been 5. This would have been what? No. Am I wrong? I'm wrong here. This would have been the nice comment of this would have been what? 5 0. It's supposed to be 5 1. I'm jumping the gun here. This would have been, let's see, as ninth complement would have been 8 6 5 0. So it's going to be 5 1, because ninth complement is what? Tenth complement is what? Ninth complement plus 1. We're running away from subtraction, so we are now adding. What is happening here? This is a 4. What is happening there is a 10. What's happening here is a 3, and the 6 is a 9. What's happening here is an 8. As expected, it's a bigger number, so we have no carry. Therefore, this answer is actually what? Tens complement form. What do? You complement it, because remember, complements are back to back. So you complement it, and you get, this is what? This is 1, this is 0, this is 9. It should have been 5 for ninth complement. Add 1, it's a 6. But because we had not having a complement there, was actually telling you it's a what? It's a negative number. Okay, this is how you do what? This is how you do your tens complement. So what do you notice? I would like to do the last example that we did there. The first one, it was the last one in that case. It is what? 1, 3, 1 minus 9, 6, 3. When you subtract that, first thing we do now, we've seen we need to balance up the numbers of what? Of digits. So we don't want to see the minus. What do? We complement that to avoid the what? The minus. So then we've got 1 3 1 0, and then the complement is going to be what? This is going to be 9 0, 3. It would have been a what? It would have been a 6. When you add 1, it's a 7. See how when you do tens complement, we always what? We always add, we're not adding a 1 as such, we are adding a digit 1 to the least significant digit, because if you added 1, there's going to be 9 1 there. So we are probably not being accurate by saying what? We add a 1. We really add a digit 1 to the what? To the least significant what? Space. Now if you look at this now, this is going to be what? This is, when you add, this is going to be 7. That there is going to be what? That's going to be, we're adding, so this is going to be 4. This here, our comma stays. This here we're adding is going to be 3. This here is going to be what? It's going to be 10. There is something wrong here. What have we done wrong? Why do I know it's something's wrong? It's because, okay, we did not do what we're supposed to. We've done this in the previous example. Okay, let's just finish it anyway, because we've done it already. We're supposed to subtract what? The smaller number, because we've done the example with the bigger number. Why did I know something was wrong? It's because what? We are getting the 10, a carry. In these examples now, we're doing what? Small minus big. So this was supposed to be, but this one is big minus small. So this carry here, what do? We ignore. In the case of what? Of tens complement. In the case of tens complement, we add it. In the case of tens complement, we what? We think, and this would be our answer. But what we meant to do, we actually meant to do the opposite. because I believe we've done this. I could actually say here, let me rather erase this, ignore, or rather move it. Let me move, okay, to move, I need him, okay, and then we actually move it there to say, I ignore, just as a reminder that what do? We ignore the carry. Did I move it too far? Ignore this carry, okay. Now our answer is going to be what? That. And you know that we've done this already. This is our answer. What we do then, we're going to say, okay, we didn't want to do this really. We wanted to subtract 9, comma, looks like I'm squeezing things now a little bit too much. Let me rather move my page up. Let me move my page up and do the opposite. We are saying 9, comma, 6, 3 minus 13, comma, 1. First thing, balance up the digits. Like I said, not very important in that case, very important in this case. Previously, not very important in that case, very important in this case. But do it all the time so that you don't get confused as to when to do it or not to do it. So this, we don't want to see the minus. What do? We complement. We are doing 10's complement. So therefore, the top number stays as is 0, 9, 6, 3. We balance up, our commas stay in line. That becomes that's an 8. We wanted to avoid subtraction. An 8, that there is a 6. This is a 1. It would have been 1, 9. 1, 9 plus 1 is going to be 2, 0. 2, 0. What do? We then add. That's why we're trying to avoid subtraction. So now we are what? We are adding. When we add, that's a 3. When we add, that's an 8. That's a 3. That's an 8. When we add, that's a what? That's a 15. And this becomes therefore a 9. What do you notice? No carry. When we don't get a carry, what do? We know that the answer is in the complement form. So we recomplement. This is what we are going to do. This here is 0. That there is 4. The 9's complement, that's 4. Comma, there's something wrong. We didn't add correctly here, did we? Let me just double check. Okay, let me just finish up and I will check later what's wrong. And then this here is what? This here is, it would have been 1, 6 is going to be, why is this a 1? No, something's wrong here. No, something's wrong here. Okay, that's something's wrong. We didn't complement correctly in the previous scenario. This is wrong. I can see this is wrong. Why? It's not, we said we took the 1 as is. This was supposed to be an 8. This was supposed to be an 8, 9. Therefore, it's supposed to be a 9, 0. It pays to be actually awake. Otherwise, you should pick up this during your not your revision, when you revise your work. You should pick such things up. I already saw that my answer is going in the wrong direction. Why? I know what to expect. So this here was supposed to be the next column was supposed to be 8, 9. When you add, I said for some reason I took it as a 1, 9. I didn't change this one here. It's an 8, 9. 8, 9 plus 1 is going to be 9, 0. So there is our 9, 0. So obviously it says therefore that the whole sum here has to be wrong. Okay. Now this has to be wrong as well. Oh, what am I doing? This has to be wrong as well. So 3 plus that, it is 3. 6 plus 9 is 15. Okay. Carry 1. 15, 16. 16. And then that's 9. Okay. So this becomes 0, 3. Not 4. 0, 3. And I'm smiling again. This would have been, we're doing 10's complement, 9's complement would have been 4, 6, So 10's complement will be 4, 6 plus 1, 4, 7. But our answer, remember, our answer has to be, I want to reduce this line here. Our answer has to be negative, because if it's in 10's complement form, it means it was what? It was a negative answer. So there is our answer, same as that. Therefore, we are happy. Now, as you can see, the method works. What do you notice? You notice, remember, I was reserving this space. I hope I didn't compromise my quality in trying to reserve the space. Remember, one, if number one, maybe I should say n1 minus n2, if I'm separating number one from number two, if I'm separating number two from number one, and then remember, not if, let's not say if yet, let's say for, I want my original rubber again, let's say for, remember, for n1 minus n2, 1, if n1 is greater than n2, what happens? You have carry. You have a carry always. Okay, you have a carry always. What do you do? 10's complement, ignore the carry. 9's complement, add the carry. Okay. Number 2, if the first number is actually smaller, the minuend is bigger, what you then do? You have no carry. And again, it's always. Okay? What you then do, you have no carry always, what does it mean? Sum, the sum after this, after adding your sum, the only sum you only add once, sum is in complement form. Complement form. Complement, why am I saying complement, comma for complement form, no need for that comma. Complement form, meaning recomplement, same complement, recomplement, the same complement. You can't do once complement initially and then finish off with it. You can't do 9's complement initially and finish off with the 10's complement, and vice versa. Recomplement, same, and change your sign to negative and allocate negative sign. Okay, those are the two things to remember. So you are either going to subtract a bigger number. If the bigger number is if the bigger number is being subtracted, there will be no carry. So all you do is recomplement, because your sum is actually what? It's actually negative. And then if you are subtracting a smaller number, you always have carry. In the case of 9's complement, you add it. In the case of what? For 10's complement, you ignore. The third one is a not. Third one, not. Third one is a not. Not. Now, I want you to remember that this is very, very important. Now, you have subtracted a what? A bigger number, and what happened? You had what? You had no carry. But when you subtract a smaller number, always you're going to have what? You're going to have a carry. All right. Now, note this. If you are subtracting and you have a what and you have a carry, you only ever add once. You only ever add one time, once. What do I mean? 9's complement, you 9's complement, let me just say 9's complement adds carry to sum. After we add with 9's complement, we come and add this carry. Okay? 10's complement adds during complementing process. Complementing process. Okay, so what do I mean? When you have got 9's complement, you add 1 to make 10's complement. So it means that when you have carries after that, you already added with the 10's complement, you never what? You ignore the carry. With 10's complement, when you've got a carry, you ignore the carry. Okay, so the addition is only ever done once. If you see yourself adding twice, I mean adding the what? The 1 twice. You either add the 1 during what? Conversion to 10's complement, or you add the 1 if it's a carry in the case of what? Of 9's complement. I hope that clarifies matters. I hope that will make your life easier. I hope from going forward, complementing is an easy process for you. But I will highlight that these rules do not always work. My next job is going to what? I'm going to add what is called what? Sign business. Because these rules don't always work. I'm going to start by proving that these rules don't always work. They work very well for these simple scenarios where only one number is negative. But when you are dealing with two negative numbers, we'll soon see that this does not really work. So I'll come to that and I'll show you. And then for now, however, for those people who are still at that junior level where they don't know about what? About sign bits, this takes care of the whole job and you should be happy. But if you see that it doesn't work, you have to do two negative numbers, then you have to what? You have to watch out for our next session. During our next session, we're going to deal with numbers with scenarios where these rules don't really apply. Thank you so much. It applies what we've done so far, but there'll be cases. If you aren't interested, just tune into the next session where we'll show you where it doesn't, and then we'll know what to do. We'll tell you how to solve that. It's actually what when you come in with the sign bits. Take care. I've enjoyed this. I hope you did too. Let's meet in the next session.